Well, hello everybody. Today we're going to learn character design. First is framework. For a drawing, framework is like blueprints for buildings, because without it you can't make the building, or in this case, draw your character. So when you make a frame, you have to consider how tall is my character, how long are the limbs of my character, and if there is anything unique about them that I can add to the drawing of the frame. For limbs, I use lines and joints at the ends of them, or like at the joints. Like I'll use small circles for them, basically. For like the ends of the hips, the shoulders, where the head is going to be indicated. Lines for the arms. Circles for the elbows. Circles for the hands, because that's an end point. Kneecaps, and then feet. And that is basically a frame for a person. But then there are multiple ways to draw a frame for something. Like you can also draw like even a frame for like maybe like someone crouching. Like here's the arch of his back. Then it hits like where his neck would be indicated. Then you can draw where the head would be. Draw the shoulders. There you go. And then this is called foreshortening. Like if you were slouched over looking at someone, your the line would be for this would be closer up to the neck part, because I mean that's farther away basically, or like at least in a different position. Then you could draw this. This line is going to be the leg, leads into the kneecap. Then you draw where like basically the lower part of the leg reaches the feet, which would be indicated by the circle. Then you draw the other one. There you go. And then just keep in mind with like it being in different positions than the other leg in that, but yeah, but I mean it won't really matter. It's your drawing, your character. And there you go. So yeah, basically the structure is just so you can get the form down or the posture of your character to put it in different poses without like making it really complicated. So that's a really good way. And then once you have the structure down, basically you start to add body. So the body is just basically like you're just going to sculpt your character, or not really your character, but kind of just the dimensions of your character. You're not going to go really detailed in this part. You don't really want to go really detailed in the structure or adding the body, because you want to make it really broad so that later you can add details, or else it's going to be really hard, really complicated, and you're just going to get frustrated and like give up maybe. But never give up. So then once you add the chest, this is like kind of like the shape of a chest, but like that's kind of like determined also by your character. I'm just really drawing just a generic person. So like for arms, I usually use like kind of like a stretched out oval. There you go. And then I'll do like a point for the oval, and like kind of like this where it's jutting out to the side. There we go. That's for like the forearm. And then for the hands, I like to draw a pentagon. Pentagons are basically what hands would look like without like the fingers. And then I would draw the thumb, like indication, and like kind of like it's in a fist, you know. It looks cool. Which I mean, hands are kind of fun to draw. Like I mean, they're hard to do, but like once you get kind of the dimensions of what it is, it will be you'll get better at them once you just keep learning the dimensions of them. But I digress. Basically, then you do it for the other side, where you have the jutting out. There we go. Then, I mean, I don't know, you could also do just kind of like a square. There you go, thumb. I don't know. Fingers. like he's holding something or something like that. Looks cool. And then basically you just add the form of the waist. And you don't really have to get complicated with it. Like, it could be just straight. It doesn't really matter because, like, once you add clothes, it kind of, like, messes with it. But this is just adding the body. Not supposed to be detailed at all. Then you add the neck. And then for the head, I'll just draw, like, a chin. And then a lot of people will draw a circle first. And then we'll add the chin, which is just, like, a point to it. And then just add the head, and like you'll just have to like eyeball it and just draw it to make it match the body, because you don't want the head to be too small or too big. But you can also make the head smaller to make the body look bigger, which is called like proportions, which looks really cool. But like, so you can just kind of like play around with that. Then we'll draw the hips. And then for the legs, we'll just connect this part to the hips. There we go. And then it's pretty much the same thing like the arms, except for the legs. So just the jutting out thing. But sometimes you don't really have the jutting out for the legs. But I kind of like to do it, but yeah. Then it's just depending really on the feet. Like the position of the feet. Like, let me move this over. Yeah, like the position of the feet. Like if it's slanted like this, your leg is going to be facing that way. So then you're going to see the point of the calf. And then if it's straight on, then like this, with the feet forward, then you're probably not going to see that little slant right there. And I mean, it's okay to erase. I mean, no one's gonna like get mad if you erase any part of this, because this is just, you know, like a lot of people think that, oh, you don't really need to erase, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. And then basically then once you have this part down, you've made the body. And then you can also add, like I'll do it just for it, to just add the body for this other one. Basically, I'm doing like a pointed oval to connect it to the spine. And then I'll just add the legs, which are like basically ovals, like kind of like lopsided, like pointed ovals. And then same thing for like the forearms and lower legs. You do like the pointed part of it, which is the calf. And then I'll just draw like kind of like just a cylinder, almost slanted cylinder for the waist. And then, you know, just same thing of like a kind of like triangular oval. And then I'll do just kind of like, you can really just learn the dimensions of arms and stuff. Like, they can be like that, and they can also be like this, which looks really good too, which is kind of just like a slanted pointed tube, which just all comes from just practice of drawing, you know. Like, a lot of people say practice, I like to say drawing, but like basically once you draw like more and more, you'll start to get this stuff of dimensions and just the way shapes look. And like if you saw this, you would think, yeah, that's a hand. And there you go. And then we'll just add the head, which will just be like an oval. Then there's the neck, just a tube. And I'll add the feet. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so like this is basically like just this is form and structure. But yeah. So then once you have this down, you can start adding the detail, which that's probably what a lot of you want to do. But you have to have this before you can move on, or else it's going to be really complicated and really hard to do. So like this is a character pretty much just straight on pose, you know, just like him just standing. And like he's a bigger dude, so I made it where like his shoulders were wider apart, and then like I made his hips kind of large too, but whatever. And then I added clothes to him. Like those were basically just ovals. I made them kind of into like cylinders because of the clothing. And then like for my clothing, I just looked at my cargo shorts that I was wearing to get these lines. And a lot of the times, if there's like a line going this way, you can then put a line like right here to make it look like there's like volume here, and then you can just put like almost like a C in the middle of that, and then do a C or like a flattened line under it to make it look like volume. And then you can just kind of add like little points and jag marks down it and just waves for like the sides of pants, which looks good. And but yeah, that's what I did for this character for his clothing. And then for armor, I did kind of just like plates almost. Like I know you can go really complicated with armor, which looks cool, but like for this character, I just wanted to do that. And then I did like pentagons or for the knees. And then you can add, once you add like clothing and armor and stuff, you can like add objects to it, which looks cool. Like I drew this lantern, which basically same thing, you need structure first. So what I did is I drew a rectangle, and then I drew another rectangle under it, or basically like a hexagon, like 3 sides. And then I did, foreshortening by making this line go up to make it seem like it was going away. And then kind of slanted it a little bit to make it look like foreshortening. And then foreshortening, just so you know, is basically like this. Like, see how his arm is raised up? And then you're like, when you look at it, you're like, oh yeah, his arm is raised up. It's not like out to the side or anything like that. It's because like if you put the like a line for the arm and a circle for the hand here, then it's gonna look like he's like almost like punching at the viewer. So like that's basically foreshortening, and like you just gotta practice it and learn it. There's probably more videos about it. I might make a video on it, but yeah. And then basically that's pretty much how I did the lantern. Was then I just added a few lines there, added the top, added this little circle thing, and then just put the ring around it. So yep. And then I just started adding details like the squares and all that. And but yeah, so that's basically it to start making your character. So yeah, I hope this video helps you. I hope you keep practicing. Like, I hope you use these steps to help you draw your characters and help, like, if you use this, it's almost like a tool. It will just help make it easier for you. Like, I know it's very hard for me to, like, make characters usually, but, like, once I learned, like, structure and form, it made it easier for me. It's still hard, but it's not as, like, terrible as it used to be. But yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and visit my shop on Etsy. It's kARTsUS. And yeah, thank you. Have a great day.